Hello students, today our topic is electrolysis. What is the meaning of electrolysis? That means movement of electrons or electricity. Electron is a charged particle. When there will be movement of any charged particle, there will be generation of electricity. And lysis means separation, that is the chemical decomposition of any compound, say NaCl. After decomposition we get the constituent element of NaCl, that is sodium and chlorine. So the meaning of electrolysis is by passage of electricity there will be chemical decomposition of any compound, that is from electrical energy we get chemical energy, or from chemical energy we get electrical energy. There will be interconversion between these two energies, and the device which is used for electrolysis, this is called electrochemical cell. Electrochemical cell may be of two types, one is electrolytic cell and the another is galvanic cell or voltaic cell. In electrolytic cell we get chemical energy in expense of electrical energy, that is an external EMF or voltage is given and we perform any chemical reaction. And in galvanic cell or in voltaic cell we get electrical energy in expense of chemical energy, that is here from some chemical reaction we get EMF in the external circuit. For example, Daniell cell. In Daniell cell zinc reacts with copper sulphate solution and zinc replaces copper from copper sulphate. There will be deposition of copper and zinc comes into solution at zinc sulphate, that is from zinc metal we get zinc ion in solution and from copper sulphate we get copper metal, and due to this reaction there will be generation of some electrical energy, that is some EMF, electromotive force, or some voltage at the external circuit. That is from chemical energy we get electrical energy. This is galvanic cell or voltaic cell. Whereas in electrolytic cell, this is example is reverse Daniell cell, that is here the reverse reaction is performed, that is product of these reactions copper and zinc sulphate. Copper reacts with zinc sulphate to form zinc metal and copper sulphate in solution. And to perform this reaction we have to give some external EMF or some voltage, that is some electrical energy is giving and we get some chemical energy. This is the electrolytic cell. Now what is electrolysis? Electrolysis is a process where passing direct electric current, this is important here, direct current is necessary. By passing alternating current we cannot generate electrolysis. So electrolysis is the process where passing direct electric current, decomposition of some chemical compounds take place in their molten state or in their solution state. That is here by passing electrical energy, decomposition of chemical decomposition of some compounds in their molten state or solution state, that is in their liquid state, take place. And electrolytes are the compounds which undergo electrolysis. Now there all the compounds cannot conduct electricity. There are some compounds which cannot conduct electricity, those are called non-conductors. For example, different non-metals like phosphorus, sulfur, oxygen, etc. they are non-conductor, they cannot conduct electricity, whereas some compounds can conduct electricity, and the compounds which can conduct electricity, among them some compounds when conduct electricity there will be no chemical change inside the compound. these compounds are called conductors, and conductors can conduct electricity only in their solid state, for example metals and alloys. Here conduction of electricity takes place due to flow of electrons, that is free electrons. We know electrons are charged particle, so due to movement of these charged particle there will be conduction of electricity. Now there are some compounds during conduction of electricity, some chemical change takes place inside the compounds. These compounds are called electrolytes. So electrolytes can conduct electricity due to generation of opposite charge ions like cations and anions. As these ions are also charged particles, so due to their movement there will be flow of electricity, and these electrolytes are electrovalent compounds or they are polar covalent molecules. Either they are electrovalent or polar covalent compounds, because this type of compound can generate positive ions, that is cations, or negative ions, that is anions, in their solution state, so they can conduct electricity. Electrovalent compounds like acid base salts and polar covalent compound like HCl in solution state, they can conduct electricity, and electrolytes can conduct electricity in their molten state or solution state. They cannot conduct electricity in solid state. Now these electrolytes can be further classified as strong electrolyte and weak electrolytes. Now which are strong electrolytes? Strong electrolytes means they gets complete dissociation into their solution, that is there will be large number of ions will be produced, so they can conduct large amount of current. For example, any strong acid, strong base or salts. For example, NaOH strong base, from complete dissociation of NaOH we get almost all the ions in solution. Whereas weak electrolytes gets partial dissociation, so they can conduct small amount of current. For example, any weak base, weak acid, or any salt coming from weak acid and weak base. Here ammonium hydroxide is weak base. It gets dissociated into ammonium plus and hydroxide ions, but this dissociation is incomplete, that is the ammonium hydroxide undissociated molecule and the dissociated ions remain in equilibrium. Both remains in solution, and due to very small number of ions in solution they can conduct small amount of current, so they are weak electrolytes. Now there are some non-electrolytes which cannot conduct electricity in their molten state or in their solution state. For example, sugar solution. Sugar solution is the example of non-electrolytes. Non-polar covalent compounds, these are non-electrolytes, because non-polar covalent compounds cannot generate any free ions. They cannot generate free ions, so they are non-electrolytes, so they cannot conduct electricity. Now the device which is used to show electrolysis is electrochemical cell. Electrochemical cell mainly consists of a non-conducting vessel, and in this non-conducting vessel some electrolyte is taken in their molten state or in solution state. Now two rods are immersed. These two rods may be metal rods or they may be gas carbon rods. These two rods are connected externally by a circuit, that is these two rods are connected with a battery by external circuit. Thus electricity is passed through the rods and due to the connection with the battery, one rod will be the positive end and the another rod will be the negative end. The positive rod is called anode and the negative rod is called cathode. The positive rod is attached to the positive end of battery and the negative rod is attached to the negative end of battery. Now, as the electrolytes mainly ionic compounds, there will be the opposite charged ions. When there will be the metal rods get charged, then the positive ions will move towards the negative rod and the negative ions will move towards the positive rod, that is anode. That is positive ions, that is cations, move toward the negative rod, that is cathode, and the negative ions move towards the positive rod, that is anode. For example, here we are taking the electrolyte as NaCl, sodium chloride solution, either concentrated solution or sodium chloride in molten state. Then what will be the reaction at cathode and anode? These cathode and anode, those are called electrodes. These cathodes and anodes, those are called electrodes and they are also called half cell, whereas this is the full cell and cathode is called one half cell, anode is called another half cell. So what will be the half cell reactions at cathode? As the cation goes, that is sodium plus positive ion, and this positive ion accept one electron, then there will be deposition of sodium metal at cathode. And we know the exception of electron, that is from sodium plus we get sodium metal. This is the process of reduction. Whereas at anode there will be the chloride ions go towards anode and they lose their extra electron, thus there will be generation of or liberation of chlorine gas at anode. This is the process of oxidation. So at cathode reduction takes place and at anode oxidation takes place. Now the complete cell reaction with, if we add these two reactions, sodium plus chlorine plus, 2 electrons will be cancelled out and then we get sodium metal plus chlorine gas. So from NaCl, sodium plus chloride, that means NaCl compound, from NaCl we are getting sodium metal deposited at cathode and chlorine gas liberated at anode. So this is the complete cell reaction of this sodium chloride electrolyte. Now here you can see the number of electrons accepted at cathode will be equal to the number of electrons released at anode. Here the number of electrons are 1. For any electrochemical cell, the number of electrons involved at cathode and anode will be same. And also the liberation or deposition of the metals or liberation of gases only takes place at the surface of the electrodes. That is, here the sodium metal deposits at the surface of cathode and chlorine gas liberate at the surface of anode. Now at cathode there will be liberation of hydrogen or there will be deposition of metals, that is any electropositive elements that go towards the cathode, and towards anode there will be movement of the non-metals, that is the electronegative elements go towards the anode. Now the first law of Faraday. Faraday's law of electrolysis, this is the first law. According to Faraday's first law of electrolysis, the mass of any substance that deposited at any electrode will be proportional to the amount of current passed through the electrolyte solution. Here W is equal to mass of substance deposited or liberated at any electrode, at cathode or at anode. This mass is proportional to the amount of current passed, and this current is given by Q, and Q, the unit of Q is here Faraday, whereas 1 Faraday is equal to 96,500 coulombs. Coulombs is also the unit of current, but in the Faraday's law the current is given in the Faraday unit. So if we increase the amount of current, more and more metals will be deposited or more and more gas will be liberated at the electrodes. So actually the electrochemical reaction in the electrochemical cell, actually the reaction takes place, those are oxidation reduction reaction, that is the redox reaction. So electrochemical cell mainly deals with the redox reactions. Redox reaction means oxidation reaction. Which are oxidation reactions? Oxidation reactions involve release of electron. For example, sodium releases one electron to form sodium plus, so this is the oxidation reaction. Or addition of oxygen or negative ion. For example, carbon is oxidized to carbon dioxide, this is oxidation because oxygen is added to carbon. So carbon here gets oxidized to carbon dioxide. Or removal of hydrogen or any positive ion. For example, H2S when reacts with chlorine, there will be generation of sulfur and HCl. Here hydrogen is removed from sulfur, so H2S is reduced to oxidized to sulfur, as oxidation involves removal of hydrogen. Hydrogen here removed from H2S, so H2S gets oxidized to sulfur. This is the oxidation process. From H2S we get sulfur, as here hydrogen is removed. Now which are reduction? Reduction may be exception of electron. Here chlorine is accepting one electron and chloride is formed, so this is the reduction process. Or addition of hydrogen or positive ion. Say in this reaction, hydrogen from chlorine we get HCl, so hydrogen is added to chlorine. So this is the reduction, chlorine is reduced to HCl as hydrogen is added to chlorine. Or removal of oxygen or negative ion. For example, in this reaction copper oxide reacts with hydrogen to form copper and water. Here oxygen is removed from copper oxide, so copper oxide is reduced to copper, this is the reduction process. Whereas oxygen is added to hydrogen to get water, as oxygen is added, so this is oxidation process, so hydrogen is oxidized to water. Now oxidizing agents. Which are oxidizing agents? The substances which itself get reduced but oxidizes other substances. They can be easily reduced but they oxidizes other substances. For example, in this reaction chlorine is reduced to HCl. So chlorine here gets reduced but chlorine here oxidizes sulfur H2S to sulfur by removing the hydrogen. So chlorine is here oxidizing agent because chlorine itself get reduced but oxidizes H2S to sulfur by removing the hydrogen. Whereas reducing agent which itself gets oxidized but reduces other substances. Reducing agent which reduces other substances. For example, in this reaction, hydrogen is oxidized to water, itself gets oxidized but it reduces copper oxide to copper by removing this oxygen. Hydrogen here removed this oxygen, so hydrogen is here reducing agent, it reduces copper oxide to copper. So reducing agent reduces other substances and oxidizing agent oxidizes other substances. Now electrolytes cannot conduct electricity in solid state, they only can conduct electricity in molten state or in solution state. Why? Because electrolytes are the electrovalent compound. For example, sodium chloride, in solid state there will be existence of ions, but there is strong electromotive force of attraction between these ions. So these ions are not free in their solid state. Strong electrostatic interaction, these ions are not free, so they cannot conduct electricity. But when they are added, NaCl is added to water, say in water molecule this bond is polar and hydrogen is electropositive, OH is electronegative. So the water molecule can be represented as one positive end and one negative end, like this. When NaCl is added, the positive ion, that is Na plus, will be surrounded by the water molecules with their negative ion towards the Na plus, and chloride ion will be surrounded by the water molecules with their positive ions towards the chloride. More and more the ions will be surrounded more and more by the water molecules. There will be more and more separation between the two ions. Then at a certain time the sodium molecules will be fully surrounded by the water, whereas the chloride will be fully surrounded by the water molecules. That is, there will be no interaction between them. The distance between the two opposite ions will increase, then at a certain time there will be no interaction between the ions, then we call the ions as solvated ions. These ions are fully solvated or fully surrounded by the water molecules. That is, there will be the complete dissociation of the ions of NaCl. There will be the complete dissociation of NaCl into its ions, and then we get free ions. And due to the movement of the free ions, the NaCl in solution state or in molten state, they can conduct electricity. Similarly, HCl, this is polar covalent molecule. HCl in gaseous state, this is non-electrolyte. That is, in gaseous state there will be no free ion in HCl, but HCl when is added in water, due to the positive end will be surrounded by the similarly by the water molecules with their negative end towards H plus, and the negative end will be surrounded by the water molecules with their positive end towards them. Thus the covalent molecule remains solvated, and at a certain time the distance between the two end will be so high that the bond breaks. Then there will be generation of the free H plus and free Cl minus ion. That is, HCl when added to water, then there will be generation of hydronium ion and the chloride free ions. Due to generation of the free ions, they can conduct electricity in solution state. Now, what is electrochemical series? Electrochemical series is very much important, because from the electrochemical series, if there will be many ions in a solution, which ion will be preferentially discharged, that can be known from the electrochemical series. This is the electrochemical series, and here you can see the positive metals, that is the electropositive elements, that is placed at the top of the series, and the negative ions are placed at the bottom of the series. If we move down the series, the ease of reduction increases. That is, if we move down this series, the ease of reduction increases, that is the elements can be reduced easily, or the oxidizing power of the elements increases. And if we move upward, then their ease of oxidation increases or their reducing power increases. So, zinc, if we take sodium and zinc, zinc can be reduced more easily than sodium, as zinc is placed at the lower position than sodium in electrochemical series. So, moving down the series, their reduction ability increases. So, as we know, at the cathode the cations go towards the cathode and at cathode reduction takes place. So, discharging ability increases down the series, as we know the reduction increases down the series. So, if we move down the series, the discharging ability increases. And for the negative ions, we know negative ions go towards anode and there will be oxidation, and as we know the oxidation, ease of oxidation decreases down the series. So, if we move down the series, their discharging ability decreases. So, discharging ability of the negative ions decreases down the series and of the positive ions increases down the series. For example, if we take fluorine and HCl, fluorine reacts with HCl to reduce HCl to chlorine and itself, to oxidize HCl to chlorine and itself get reduced. Here we know from the electrochemical series, fluoride is placed at lower position than chloride. So, fluorine is here itself can be easily reduced, and fluorine is highly oxidizing agent, as fluorine in the electrochemical series at lower position. So, fluorine can easily oxidize chloride to chlorine and itself get reduced. Now, if we take the Daniell cell, in Daniell cell we have discussed earlier that zinc can replace copper sulfate solution to copper and zinc sulfate, that is here copper sulfate, from copper sulfate we get copper and the sulfate ion is removed, and this is the negative ion and this is removed. So, here negative ion removed, that means this is the process of reduction, and negative ion, that is sulfate, is added to zinc. So, zinc here is oxidized. This process is the spontaneous process, that is spontaneously zinc can here reduce, zinc spontaneously can reduce copper sulfate to copper and itself gets oxidized, because in electrochemical series copper is at lower position than zinc. So, copper can be easily reduced, as ease of reduction here increases. So, copper can be easily reduced and zinc can be easily oxidized. So, here copper is reduced to copper sulfate is reduced to copper and zinc is oxidized to zinc sulfate. This is the spontaneous process. Whereas in the reverse Daniell reaction, this process, copper oxidized and zinc is reduced, this process is non-spontaneous. For this chemical reaction to occur, we have to give a external electrical energy, that is an external voltage. Now, in solution, if there are H plus ions and zinc ion, which will discharge first at cathode? If we see the electrochemical series, then hydrogen is placed at lower position than zinc. So hydrogen will be reduced more easily than zinc, and we know in cathode reduction, at cathode reduction takes place. So hydrogen will be reduced to H plus will be reduced to hydrogen by losing electron will be more easily than zinc. So there will be liberation of hydrogen at cathode. In solution, if there are zinc 2 plus and copper 2 plus, which will discharge at cathode first? As we know, in electrochemical series, copper is placed lower than zinc. So copper will be reduced more easily, and at cathode we know reduction takes place. So there will be reduction of copper 2 plus to copper. So we get deposition of copper at cathode rather than zinc. Now in solution there are hydroxide ion and chloride ion. Whether oxygen will be liberated from hydroxide or chlorine will be liberated from chloride at anode. We know at anode oxidation reaction takes place, and here as chloride is placed at lower position than hydroxide in electrochemical series, chloride at the lower position than hydroxide. So hydroxide will be easily oxidized as the ease of oxidation increases is if we move upward. So as hydroxide ion is at higher position than chloride, so hydroxide will be oxidized first, and hydroxide by releasing 4 electrons there will be formation of oxygen, and to balance the hydrogen here we have to put the water molecules. So this is the oxidation. So there will be liberation of oxygen at anode rather than liberation of chlorine. This will not occur, whereas oxygen will be liberated at cathode. So from the electrochemical series we can say which will be deposited or liberated at the cathode or anode if there are different ions in the solution. This is the importance of electrochemical series. Okay, thank you.